Every year, the EA Sports FC game franchise releases ratings for its licensed leagues, which includes pretty much all of the leagues that could be considered major for both men's and women's football. Today, we look at the 20 Premier League clubs and predict who will get the biggest upgrade in EA Sports FC 26 compared to their rating last year. I'll be avoiding players who have just transferred in, or indeed just transferred out. Arsenal, Miles Lewis Skelly, 58 to 73. Starting off with Arsenal, where Ethan Ranieri earns an honourable mention, my prediction is that Miles Lewis Skelly gets a huge boost, possibly going straight from a bronze to a gold card. Before the season, Lewis Skelly had never played senior football and thus had a 58 rated card, and the most notable level of football he had played in was probably the Under 17 World Cup. Even at the start of this season, he was playing for Arsenal under 21 and England under 19s, but picked up limited minutes with Arsenal's first team, getting a start in a Carabao Cup match against Bolton, and following a knock to Alexander Zinchenko, started in a Champions League match against Monaco at left back. After that, he never really looked back, making a total of 39 appearances for the Gunners and winning 3 senior England caps, including scoring on his debut. Despite coming in as injury cover, he's kept his starting spot, even featuring for the entirety of their 5-1 aggregate thrashing of Real Madrid. For his goal in Arsenal's 5-1 demolition of Manchester City, where he delighted Gooners and annoyed everyone else by emulating Erling Haaland's celebration, he got both an inform and a Team of the Season highlights card. However, I think they'll keep him as a silver. A lot of Lewis Skelly's hype is based around the fact that he's only 18 years old, and he will surely have a cards a lot better than this to come. But EA are normally stingy with giving youngsters good ratings based on hype. They instead give them good potential on career mode. And I think only half a season in pro football will mean he doesn't get the boost some will be expecting. Aston Villa, Morgan Rogers, 75 to 81. Enzo Baranechea, Louis Barry, and Lamar Bogard are options here, but I see a hefty upgrade for Morgan Rogers. Rogers had played his whole career in the Championship and League One when Aston Villa came calling midway through the 23-24 season, and his 16 appearances for the Villains, including 3 goals, were enough to earn him a gold 75 card, up from 67 in FC 24. However, I see another major upgrade from Rogers this season, where he has really raised eyebrows, earning links with Chelsea. Rogers started every game for Villa in both the Premier League and Champions League, bar one missed with suspension, and was inspired with 14 goals and 15 assists in all competitions. He also picked up his first 5 appearances for England. Highlights including 2 inform cards, first for a goal and an assist in Villa's 2-1 win over City, and another for providing 2 assists in a 3-0 win away to Brighton. He was also named a future star, and as a dual potential player earned 2 cards predicting where he might end up, and an honourable mention in the Team of the Season. Rogers has been stellar, but I think he isn't considered part of the game's elite. If he moved to a world-class team, he would probably fit in the squad, but not be a star player. Therefore, I think a rating of about 81 will fit him well. Bournemouth, Antoine Semenyo, 76 to 79. Sorry, Cherries fans, if there are any of you watching. The club has made the wise decision of flogging their 2 most informed players, meaning there are no dramatic upgrades here. While Dean Huyson had a 68 but will almost certainly have a goal next year, while Milos Kerkez will get a less dramatic but still substantial bump up from 77. Now that they're at Real Madrid and Liverpool, a more modest upgrade to Antoine Semenyo is the best you'll get. Having arrived at Bournemouth, his first Premier League club, halfway through the 22-23 season, he got his first gold card in FC 25 following regular appearances in 23-24, as well as becoming a regular starter in the Ghana squad. He's really done well for Bournemouth this season, playing every game for the Cherries bar one, which he missed with suspension, and starting all but a further 3, with 2 of those in the Cups. 11 goals and 6 assists were enough to name him in the FUT birthday squad, celebrating the mode's anniversary, which gave every player a perfect weak foot and skill move stats. Therefore, I see him moving up to a 79 rated card. Brentford, Mikhail Damsgaard, 73 to 79. Even if Brian Mbermo doesn't go to Man United, I still think he will lose out to Mikhail Damsgaard. The Dane peaked at a 77 in his last season in Sampdoria in FIFA 22, just after being a major part of the Denmark team that reached the Euro semi-finals. After two cards with a 76 rating, in FC 25 he got a 73, following a knee surgery which ruled him out for the first 4 months of the season, and a tricky return, starting just 9 times for Brentford in the league and playing only 33 minutes at Euro 2024. However, he has returned in the best possible way, with 11 assists for the Bees in the Premier League as he played every game for Brentford in all competitions, starting all but five. He earned an inform for 2 assists in a 4-0 win away to Leicester and an honourable mention for the team of the season. He's surely back in the golds with a solid 79 card, which will fit into your team for about the first 2 minutes of the game. Brighton, Carlos Baleba, 73 to 79. Brighton have a few options with Jack Hinchelwood, Yassin Ayari, and even loanee Marco Mahoney options for the Seagulls. However, I expect Carlos Baleba to get exactly the same upgrade that I predicted for Damsgaard. At the start of the 23-24 season, Baleba signed from Lille, and a season in the Prem got him an upgrade from 69 to 73. However, he went from rotation player to regular starter in the season just gone, and after receiving his Cameroon debut at the end of 23-24, massively increased his playing time for the indomitable Lions. Missing just 3 games last season for Brighton earned him the club's Young Player of the Season award, and I'm surprised not to see giants circling around him because of his young age. He's just 21. Expect to see him in a PSG or Chelsea shirt one day, but for now, he gets his first gold card at 79. Burnley, Bashir Humphreys, 68 to 72. The transfer of CJ Egan Riley to Marseille removed the obvious option here, but I think Bashir Humphreys just beats Hannibal Majory and James Trafford to take this for the Clarets. A Chelsea youngster, Humphreys spent the 23-24 season on loan to Swansea, earning him an upgrade from 65 to 68 for FC 25. He spent the season just gone on loan to Burnley, and the Clarets have announced they'll be signing him on a permanent basis this season. Humphreys was Burnley's main left-back as they got promoted from the Championship with just 16 goals conceded, until a thigh issue ruled him out of the last 14 games of the season. This also meant he did not go to the Euro Under-21 finals where England were victorious, despite being a regular part of Lee Carsley's Young Lions before that. There are going to be a lot of modest upgrades all round for Burnley's players, but no dramatic rises, except for the departed Egan Riley, who is no longer eligible for this list. Chelsea, Moises Caicedo, 82 to 85. Conference League champions and Club World Cup finalists Chelsea will get a suite of modest upgrades, with Romeo Lavia, Carney Chukwuemeka, Mark Guiu and Tyreek George among those I think will get a rise. However, I've gone with Moises Caicedo, who broke out in the 22-23 season with Brighton, after which he went to Chelsea for £115 million and an upgrade from 70 to 80. Caicedo hardly set the world alight in his first season, but was still upgraded to 82. However, he looked his short in the Blues midfield this term, starting every game in the Premier League as they return to Champions League football, and also scoring in the Conference League final. His season isn't done at the time of recording, with the Club World Cup final coming up, but he's already been named their Player of the Season, and he's gotten a fair few special cards. Ahead of their league game away to Man United, Caicedo received a showdown card along with United's Manuel Ugarte. If Chelsea won, Caicedo would receive an upgrade, while if United won, Ugarte would. As it was a one-all draw, both received a smaller upgrade. Caicedo also received a Fantasy FC card, where he would get upgrades based on performances in the games away to Villa, at home to Southampton and Leicester, and away to Arsenal, based on fantasy football. The clean sheet and a 4-0 win at home to Southampton, as well as the wins over Southampton and Leicester, earned him upgrades, though he missed others for a booking against Villa, Chelsea failing to score 10 goals in those games, and them not winning the league or FA Cup. He got a Team of the Season honourable mention. Finally, there was a road to the final set of players for the Conference League, where every new round reach would lead to an upgrade. After Chelsea's win, every player got a fully upgraded card for the Blues, even if they didn't originally have a card in the road to the finals. That included Moises Caicedo. 4 special cards show the devs clearly like him, and he's finally proving his worth at Chelsea after questions following his initial transfer fee. Crystal Palace, Justin Devenny, 60 to 69. A big honourable mention here is Roman Esse following his move from Millwall, but I think Justin Devenny takes this one. Devenny grew up in Scotland, where only the top flight is in the game, so never had a card following his time in the lower leagues. However, after his move to Palace, he did get a card for FC 25, set at 60, which is a bog standard card for an unknown youngster. He never made an appearance for Palace in 23-24 and started this season in the under-21s, playing their first 6 matches. He was also a regular part of the Northern Ireland under-21 squad. In November, he was moved to the senior team and handed a couple of starts, for which he also found a place in the Northern Ireland senior squad as well. He only had three more starts for the Eagles this season and was on the bench for the FA Cup semi-final and final, which Palace won. However, four caps and good minutes in the Premier League surely will lead to a big boost for Devaney, who has shown himself to be worthy of a silver card. Everton, Iliman Ndiaye, 75 to 79. Iliman Ndiaye was a crucial part of Sheffield United's promotion season in 22-23, so when he went to Marseille, he got a 74 rated card. One season as a rotation player in the south of France earned him a move to Everton, and his card got bumped up to 75, the lower limit for a gold card. Apart from a period where a knee injury ruled him out, he has been a regular starter for both Everton and Senegal, netting 11 goals in all competitions for the Toffees. I don't have that much to say about him, and I don't think he'll get a massive upgrade, but it's surely enough to bump him up to 79. Fulham, Anthony Robinson, 79 to 82. Not too much for Fulham, who I think will have a few players get a modest upgrade, including Alex Iwobi, Sander Berger, Sasha Lukic, and Raul Jimenez. However, Anthony Robinson will overtake Bernd Leno as the highest rated Fulham player in my opinion. Robinson was the Fulham player of the season for 23-24, earning him an upgrade from 76 to 79. And this time around, he missed just 6 games all year and shone with 10 assists, all of them in the Prem, and the most of any in the league for a defender. A regular part of the USA squad, he missed the Gold Cup with surgery. Robinson got a Trailblazers card for a good start to the season, having played every minute for Fulham in the league up to that point, and he also got a Team of the Season. A very good season for the American, and another bump up to 82 should be coming. Leeds United, Ayo Tanaka, 73 to 76. Just beating out Laji Ramazani is Ayo Tanaka, who I think will get a gold card on promotion to the Prem. Tanaka joined at the start of the season just gone from Fortuna Dusseldorf, having been in the low 70s throughout his time with a German side. After being introduced from the bench for the first few games in Yorkshire, he became a regular starter in midfield for the Whites as they won the championship, named by his teammates as Players' Player of the Season, and has also earned more minutes for Japan. I think he'll be among the Leeds players to earn a gold card for the upcoming season. Liverpool, Ryan Gravenberch, 78 to 84. Ryan Gravenberch has had a fantastic season for the champions, making him the obvious choice for inclusion here. After his first season in Liverpool, he actually received a downgrade from 79 to 78 after irregular minutes. But Arne Slot's arrival, in which he moved his fellow Dutchman to become a deep-lying midfielder, has massively boosted Gravenberch's performances and profile. He started every game but one in the league, and has also been a regular starter for the Netherlands, although he missed their Nations League quarter-final against Spain with injury. Because of this, he was named Premier League Young Player of the Season. Gravenberch got an FC Pro Live card, where he was assigned a player in the game's esports league and got upgrades based on performance. Due to Emre Yilmaz getting points and reaching the knockouts, he got an upgrade, although not the maximum as Yilmaz did not win. He also got a Team of the Season card. This time, he will get a significant upgrade, reaching 84, proving a platform to be named amongst the world's elite if he pulls off another season like this. Manchester City, Omar Marmoush, 79 to 84. A difficult season for City will see downgrades to a lot of players, but two will get big upgrades in Omar Marmoush and Abdulkadir Kusanov. I've gone with Marmoush, who already received an upgrade from 75 to 79 after a breakout first season with Eintracht Frankfurt. However, he hit ridiculous numbers with D Adler in 24 to 25. Having 20 goals in 26 games and 15 in 17 in the Bundesliga before earning a transfer to Northwest England in the winter. There, his numbers weren't quite as good as he was moved out to the wing to accommodate Erling Haaland at times, but he still netted 8 times in 27 for a total of 28 in 53 this season for his clubs, while also being a regular starter for Egypt. Marmoush received a huge number of special cards this season. He got an inform for scoring 2 and assisting 2 more in a 4-2 win away to Holstein Kiel, with 5 goals in 3 games, earning him Bundesliga Player of the Month. He got it for September. He got another inform after a brace and a 4-0 win away to Heidenheim, and also got a Trailblazers card. He won Bundesliga Player of the Month again in November with 2 goals and 3 assists, and after moving to City, got a Fantasy FC card for the games at home to Liverpool, away to Spurs and Forest, and at home to Brighton. He got upgrades for an assist against Brighton and avoiding cards, but missed the ones for winning 2 games, City scoring 10 goals, and then winning the league or FA Cup. A great season for Marmoush, who mostly gets it on the back of his ridiculous numbers in Germany. Manchester United. Toby Collier, 59 to 68. Despite United's horrible season, both Collier and Patrick Dorgu all expect big upgrades, but Collier started lower down with just 59 and therefore will probably be increased by more. Collier had never played senior football before this season, but made 13 appearances for the Red Devils, including starts in wins over Barnsley in the Carabao Cup and Rangers in the Europa League, also being upgraded from under 16 to under 20 level for England. He won't get as big an upgrade as Lewis Skelly, who became a regular Premier League starter, but what he's shown in his limited minutes for the Red Devils is that he is good enough to get a big upgrade and a silver card. Newcastle, Lewis Hall, 73 to 79. Lewis Hall is an obvious pick. After a season on loan from Chelsea last year already gave him a big upgrade from 66 to 73. After that, the Magpies signed him permanently, where he has gone from being a fringe player to a regular starter, although he did miss the last 13 games, including the Carabao Cup final, which Newcastle won with ankle surgery. Hall also made his first two England caps in November, although he could have been in the winning Euro under-21 squad if not for that injury. Hall received a Future Stars Academy card for those not in the main Future Stars squad, where there would be one card picked out of 15, which could be upgraded using the game's evolutions feature. It's nearly a certainty he will be a gold in FC 26. Nottingham Forest, Chris Wood, 76 to 81. After a brilliant season where they reached the Conference League, the likes of Ola Aina, Anthony Elanga, Matt Sells, and Elliot Anderson all expect big upgrades for Forest. However, I've gone with Chris Wood, who has been on every normal version of Ultimate Team since FIFA 10, the first one, peaking with a 79 in FIFA 22. I expect him to beat that and break through to an 81. Last season, he got an upgrade from 75 to 76 after netting 15 goals for Forest in his first permanent season there, having spent the second half of the one before that on loan in the East Midlands. Wood has played every game but four for Forest this season, and he netted 20 goals, all of them in the league, the most goals he scored in a season since 30 for Championship Leeds in the 2016-17 campaign. He has also been a regular starter for New Zealand, scoring 10 in 10 this season for the All Whites. Wood got an inform for a brace in a 3-1 away win to rivals Leicester, and was named the Prem's Player of the Month for October after 4 goals in 3 games. Wood got another inform after a goal and assist in a 2-0 win away to Everton, and finally got a Team of the Season card. Amongst a number of contenders, Wood just takes it for me. Sunderland, Chris Rigg, 61 to 70. With Sunderland going up through the playoffs, some big upgrades are coming, with Romain Mundell and Eliezer Mayunda amongst those up for consideration. However, I've gone with Chris Rigg, who got his first card, a 61, after making the Sunderland first team at the end of last season. This campaign, he was a regular starter for the Black Cats as they got promoted, missing just 4 games in all competitions. He was used less in the playoffs, perhaps due to his young age, but still started the final, and was named the Championship's Apprentice of the Season. He also upgraded from the under-18 to under-19 level at England, being named for the Young Lions for the Euros in Romania, although he pulled out before the tournament actually took place. I can imagine Rigg having a very good career, and it might be tough for Sunderland to hold on to him. Certainly, a regular set of games in the Championship shows that he is very deserving of a silver card. Spurs, Lucas Bergvall, 68 to 76. Spurs' injury crisis and tough season meant that they did see a lot of youngsters break out, with Jed Spence and Mikey Moore due a big upgrade, as well as Josh Keeley following an impressive loan spell with Leyton Orient. However, Lucas Bergvall will get the biggest upgrade. The Swede got a silver following a good season last year with Djurgården in his homeland, which also saw him get a transfer to North London. Bergvall was a fringe player but saw his playing time massively increase in the second half of the season, though he missed the last 7 games, including the Europa League semi-final and final, which Spurs won, with an ankle injury. He also earned 3 more caps for Sweden after making his debut the year before. He also got a regular Future Stars card. To be honest, I think Bergvall is still mostly potential and will probably grow in rating a lot more, but someone that regularly starts in the Premier League will almost certainly get a gold, and that's what he managed to do at times this season. West Ham, Gideon Kodua, 58 to 61. The last season was horrendous for West Ham, and most of their starting 11 will get downgrades or stay where they are. However, youngster Gideon Kodua will probably get a small upgrade for his league performances this season. Correa got his first card for FC 25 after spending the second half of last season on loan at Wycombe in League One, and this season he returned to Adams Park for the entirety of the campaign. He still got very limited minutes, but did net his first senior goals in 3-2 away wins over Burton and Rotherham. Honestly, I'm really struggling with West Ham players, but if I do pull this one off, I'm a genius, and he does have more League One game time in the boots compared to 12 months ago. I will say this might not be a player who is worth a remember the name, but if a coach can figure out his best position and can work him into a system, I think he could be a regular player in League One or even the Championship. Wolves. Fabio Silva, 73 to 78. Ironically, both West Ham and Wolves had a lack of W's this season, and that's why those two clubs have players that spent the season on loan in this list. Silva has been in foot since FIFA 20, and his card has always been silver, but I expect that to change. Since joining Wolves in 2020 for £35 million, he's had ups and downs, but it's fair to say he hasn't lived up to the 86 potential he had in FIFA 20. After being a rotation player for Wolves in the 2021 season and getting even less time in 21-22, he became subject to a number of loans. In 22-23, he went to Anderlecht for the first half of the season, being a regular starter there, before going to PSV for the second half, where he was a rotation player. In 23-24, he actually was in the Wolves squad at the start of the season, but soon lost his place in the starting 11 and then the squad entirely. He spent the second half of the season on loan to Rangers, where he was a starter more often than not. However, this season just gone, he was on loan to Las Palmas in Spain, where he finally showed the best form of his career, netting 10 goals despite the Canaries being relegated. He was called up to the Portugal side as an injury replacement in November, picking up his first cap of the bench, although he reverted to the under-21s after that, missing the Euros with injury. However, I'm still not sold on Fabio Silva, but he's among the only Wolves players that deserve an upgrade for what went on last year. Thanks for watching, or listening more like, and feel free to shout at me for being wrong. I am interested to know what people think. The biggest upgrade in the whole list is Lewis Skelly, gaining 15, the first one on the list, while Bournemouth, Chelsea, Fulham, Leeds, and West Ham have nobody gaining more than 3. Who have I missed from your club? I'll be interested to see who slipped through the cracks. Remember, I didn't count any new transfers or people who left at the end of the season, with the exception of Bashir Humphreys, because he went from a loan to a permanent, but he stayed at the same club. The next bit of musing was meant to be the intro, but I remember the audience retention game, so I've just put it at the end for those who want to hear me ramble. So when you cite FIFA ratings, and they're still normally called FIFA ratings, even though the name of the game changed from FIFA to EA Sports FC in 2023, it's kind of seen as outing yourself as having pitiful football knowledge. They probably make more of an impression than you think, though. I mean, people that say we need to sign that player because he's good on FIFA are often laughed out the room. But how many of you regularly watch Serie A week in, week out? If you don't, but play as much FIFA as I do, then your opinions of players are probably somewhat affected by the ultimate team ratings. If your team draws an Italian side in Europe, you might be most familiar with the players that have good cards on FIFA, and they're probably the ones you worry about the most. I use Serie A as an example because of the social media reaction to AC Milan left back Teo Hernandez going to Al Hilal for €25 million. Many fans were shocked that he was going for that lower price, and some were even angrily wondering why their own club did not pursue him. Hernandez is known for his pace and physical attributes, qualities that are useful in a footballer, but have long been known to be enhanced in importance in the game. Hernandez is rated on FC25 as the best left back in the world, considering everyone who can play there, even if it's not their primary position. However, Milan fans were more calm about his departure, and even some criticism of those who were surprised about his low price came in from them, saying they only rated him because of his FIFA card, and he hasn't been in good form for ages. I don't think it's an actual tool for scouts, pundits, and the like, but I do think it's a good way to rate someone's stats over the years. You know which profile of player is a 77, 83, 86, or 90, and I think that does have a bit of value in the conversation. Anyway, you can see why this wasn't the intro now. Thanks for watching once again.